Hello and welcome to the August 2025 Evil Hat State of the Hat update. It's hard to imagine I've been doing these for almost a year now. I am so grateful for the Dice Pool crowdfunding campaign we did in 2024 that makes this possible. And I'm really happy to be sharing with all of you what's happening out of the hat. For me personally, I'm going to StrategiCon this weekend, my first time going. So it's the Gateway edition of StrategiCon. I know there's at least a couple people I'll see there, and if you happen to be around, you should be able to find me at Games on Demand. That's where I plan on hanging out and probably playing some games and running some games. I've been playing a lot of Cthulhu, Shadowdark, Blade 68, looking at starting a game of Into the Odd, all kinds of fun stuff. So happy to talk about the games that we're developing right now. I've been, ever since the beginning of the year, I've been deeply involved in a lot of the development. I've been doing a lot of product development work, which is very fun, very rewarding. And it gives me some deeper insights into the games as they're in development and what's happening with all of them. So let's dive in. Let's see if I can do this transition elegantly. There we go. Nice. Let's talk about our first game, which is Streets of Jade. This has just been released for open play testing. I think 2 days ago was when we sent the files out. So if you sign up now, you can jump into it. Signups for playtesting are open until October 5th, and playtesting will go until November 30th. Streets of Jade, what is it? If you know Fondelee's Greenbone Saga fiction, you will immediately be excited about this. This is the RPG adaptation using the Paragon rule set of the Greenbone Saga RPG, officially licensed by Fonda, and she has been working with James Mendez-Hodes, the designer and the creator. She's been working hand in hand with him, and they have been working on this together for a couple of years now, and we're very, very excited to share it with folks. If you're not familiar with Greenbone Saga, think wuxia and gangster films combined. This is 1980s Asian crime and clan stories with a magical element of this jade, this magical jade that gives people incredible powers, but it's also very intense to deal with, and it can have really negative side effects if you're not well trained for it. So of course everybody wants it, not everybody necessarily can use it, and those who can have a huge level of power and privilege over those who can't. So obviously all of the disparities that you can imagine that would come from that are very present in the game. It's an absolute delight. It's big cars, shiny, sharp suits, guns, and a lot of responsibility to family, responsibility to the clan, clashing with your own personal desires. It's so much fun, built on the Paragon system. So I'm very excited to see how Agon, which I think was developed in so many awesome and wonderful ways through Deathmatch Island, and now I think it's going to be continued developed in Streets of Jade. Really excited to see that expansion. Here's a slightly outdated character sheet. Those in the know might know the difference, but this is the give you an idea of the character sheet, showing you getting dice for the same sort of things that you would expect from your name, but also from your reputation and your connections to your factions, which are very important as you advance your factions. They can lend you aid, but then they also will they will also claim some of the glory that you do. And you'll recognize under the skills the same domains from Agon, Arts and Oration, Blood and Valor. Those are still very applicable in the Streets of Jade, but also then there are the 6 Jade disciplines of channeling and deflection, etc. And those work like, if you're familiar with Agon, those work like divine favor, and it gives you abilities above and beyond what the non-Jade user can do. So I think every single time I've played this game, someone has been like, nope, I don't want to use Jade. I'm going to tough it out. And it is certainly toughing it out in this world of Jade. So deep cuts. It has gone to the printer, or at least the time-sensitive parts have gone to the printer. We're very excited to have those completed and sent off. So we've sent off the standard edition, the limited edition, the maps, and the red ledger. All of those have gone to our printer, and we're getting proofs of them now, and those are going to be going through printing so we can deliver them by December. And then the next round is to do the printing for the items that are a little faster to print, which includes the cutter's deck, and that's going to be the card design is largely done. We're just getting it print ready, and then also our stickers. This image is not super easy to see because of the background, but we've got a lot of different sticker designs. These were a couple things we were playing with, and we're going to keep tinkering with this until we get all of these complete. But we've got 3 sheets for every backer who got physical rewards. We're very excited to send these out to everybody. So yeah, lots and lots of deep cuts work. It's every time we look at it, we find ways to improve. I'm really, really pleased with the look of the limited edition, the end papers we added to it, the foiling that's going to be on it. It's going to look really magnificent, and it's going to sit very nicely alongside your copy of Blades in the Dark. On the notion of Blades, Blade 68, it says in development now, but the truth of it is Tim just turned in a completed draft. Now, completed has lots of connotations. It is text complete, which means it's going to our sensitivity, going to sensitivity reading. It's also getting an internal review where I'm looking through it, John's looking through it. And then once those are all complete, it'll go into editing. And in the meantime, Tim is working on a lot of the art. There's a lot of placeholder spots in right now for art that he's going to be finishing up. But just to give you an idea, this game started as a tweet of a map. That's what this started as. Dustfall, the roadmap 968. Tim had this concept and he put it out there, and I'm so happy that it is now a book that has, if you're counting along, over 450 pages of amazing content. Very little of which is actually Blades content. One of our design goals with Blade 68 and with Dagger Isles is to leave it very flexible to work with deep cuts. So the mechanic side of things are largely still using the Blades core mechanics, so that those core mechanics can be shifted to work alongside deep cuts. So this is, even though this is 450 pages, most of this is the characters, the crew, how Dustfall has changed, advice on running the games, the factions, the new updated gameplay cycle, the districts, everything that's going on, the trouble engine. There's so much. I mean, it is not just 450 pages of Blades. It's 400 pages of new, almost all new Blades content, which is really, really, really exciting. And there's so much that Tim has done to develop the world, and he's worked with John to get his thoughts on it. He's worked with Pam, who's working on Dagger Isles. Pam is actually going to be doing the sensitivity reading on this, so we've got her as a second set of eyes on the entire project, which is really, really exciting. Yeah, I'm just delighted that Blade 68 has become, it's such a beautiful, wonderful game. I think we just finished our 20th session. And on that note, I'm really delighted that our playtest got to really have a significant effect, and so did everyone. Tim got a lot of feedback from the playtesters, so thank you everyone who did it. One of the things that we received from my group and from a lot of playtesters was that the heist team, which has now been renamed the Shadows for reasons that'll make sense in a second, the heist team seemed very well positioned to be involved with espionage, but there wasn't any specific hooks for them to do it. And we realized that bank heists, art heists, intel heists really could be combined into just heists and expand the team somewhat, which is now the Shadows, covert specialists, experts with heists and espionage. And so now the preferred methods include heists, but also include surveillance, subterfuge, and cleanup. And so there's a lot of espionage spy film opportunities that do exist in some of the other crew playbooks as well. Certainly the racers, certainly the militants, certainly the hit squad. But we really wanted to embed several of them into the shadows, and that has affected their special abilities. As we noticed, their preferred methods. We're really excited to give that option that you absolutely thieves pulling off heists is a completely viable crew playbook, but so is people dealing in international affairs and stealing information and sneaking people in and out of the city and doing all that good spy stuff that is so appropriate to the genre itself. So yay for Blade 68 just continuing to get better and better. On the note of Blades, Dagger Isles is in development. Pam is going through the whole text and we're revising and refining it. No specific updates right now, but the work on it continues. Monster of the Week, the books have all been shipped out. So if you're a backer, you have them. If you or not, you can get them through your friendly local game store or through purchase for sale on our website. But that means that the work is not done because now we're working on the stretch goals, which we're calling the Mystic Marginalia. And text for that is complete, right? Editing for that is complete, layout for that is complete. And so what that's left us with now is proofreading. Jen Martin is proofreading it right now. And we're also doing the art development for that. Wanakawa, who's done a lot of the Monster of the Week art, is doing the art development for the Mystic Marginalia. And it's going to be, while it won't be a print book, it will eventually become a print-on-demand book through drive-through. So just like with our last crowdfunding campaign, where Modern Haunts and Apocrypha were actually reasonable-sized little booklets, you'll be able to add Mystic Marginalia to your bookshelf as well once it comes out on POD. So very exciting that the stretch goals allowed us to turn this 2-book crowdfunding campaign into actually a 3-book campaign. Very, very, very cool. All right, what do we got? Umdaar, Planet of Swords, Super Science and Sorcery. Like Dagger Isles, no new specific updates on this other than we continue to work along on this. I think last time I mentioned that we were sort of separating out the toolkit element and the game itself so that we can focus more on playing in the world of Umdaar. I have given myself a very, very difficult homework assignment of watching all of Thundar the Barbarian, which I realized I only recollected a few episodes of, and I was like, that's only 2 seasons. Yeah, I think I could fit that into my watch schedule. So I'm excited to watch that as I keep working through Umdaar and revising the game as we go. Next up is Abyssal. Ash is almost done with all the annotated playbooks. So the playbooks got a full treatment where Ash went through and Faye really developed a lot of the context around the abilities and the background and how they tie into the factions. And so there's a lot of detail there. Each playbook will probably end up being 6 spreads in the book. That's my guess right now. And that feels right because each playbook is kind of 2 playbooks. You know, if you are the Bitten, you are 1 Abyssal turn from becoming the vampire. And so we'll probably have 3 spreads for the Bitten and 3 spreads for the vampire. It is technically 1 playbook, but since your Abyssal form is a whole different play sheet, it's going to be really exciting to combine those and really have the full annotated versions of all of those. So Ash is working on those. They're working with John LaBeouf Little, who is consulting on it, and I've been doing some review as well. So very excited to have Abyssal be as good as it can be. Rangers of Broken World by Leon Richardson. This is getting exciting. This is in its exciting closing phases. We're in editing right now. Karen 12s is just turned in the first editing pass. Leon has sent back the revisions, so we're now going on editing pass number 2. Lucia Searswood is our art director for the project, and Lucia has absolutely amazing concepts for sort of a maximalist Art Nouveau style. This is going to really be a gorgeous soft color palette, and can't wait to show the Rangers and their travels and the broken world and the noble demons We have Lauren Colt working on the cover and the iconic images right now. And so this should be a 2026 early crowdfunding, we think. I loathe to ever say details. Mid 2026. I apologize. Loathe to ever say details because we never know how development schedules go, but things are moving along very nicely with this. All right. And if you're curious about development on it, Leon has created a huge series. I think it's more than a dozen now, up to 14 now, design diaries, all about the playbooks from the game, the setting of the game, the nature of conflict in the game, the nature of magic in the game, the nature of the environment in the game. And the blog posts are just phenomenal. Leon said that a lot of the initial designs for this game came from reading about post-World War I, the having to go to old fields that were filled with mines and having to dig those mines out so that no one was hurt in them, and how that there was this land that had just been completely blighted by these mines and could not be used, and the work that was needed to sort of reclaim that land. And that really infused a lot of Leon's designs around the notion of healing a broken world. And that's exactly what the Rangers do. It's very, very exciting. And you can read all about it. If you go to evilhat.com/blog, you'll see the design diaries there. All right, what do we got next? GodKiller by Connie Chang. GodKiller is near final development. There's a lot, since we asked Connie to make it work as both a duet game, which is the original design, and a multiplayer game. Connie also had the idea of making it a single player game. So there's a lot of rule sets that need lots and lots of testing, a lot of internal development. Reina Jadi is doing system development consultation on it. C. Thomas is doing playtest consultation. So there is a lot of great minds going into the development on this. We're really excited for a draft is coalescing, and I'm really excited to see it once that is complete and can share more about it with you then. All right. Tian Deng. Oh my goodness. I've had so much fun working with Banana and Sen. We're meeting now once or twice a week to really iron out the post playtest revisions. We've gone through the whole draft, and we've really gone with a fine-tooth comb. We've gotten through, I think, about 75% of it, and luckily the difficult mechanical development design stuff is largely behind us, and now we're just sort of ironing everything out to make sure that all the mechanical changes that we made in response to playtest feedback are now filtered through the rest of the document. Everything stays consistent, and there's an old, orphaned text from previous rule sets. So there's a lot of calibrating that. There's a lot of moving sections to be in their appropriate locations, and a lot of just making sure everything is all uniform and that all the rule set is consistent throughout. But it's been so much fun. If you haven't heard about the sort of journey of Tian Deng, it really started as a very Firefly-esque gigs in space to survive. And now it's really morphed into a journey to retirement, as you're playing elderly characters who are getting ready not only for their own retirement, but for the retirement of the artificial consciousness, the AC in their ship, who has been alive or been on for hundreds of years and is also ready for retirement. So this game is about silly hijinks. It is about preparing for retirement, and it's about elder care in a really sweet way. And the AC is as much a part of the crew, as much part of the ship and the crew as any of the players. And it really, I'm so delightful about the way it takes part of the game. So we're going to keep working on that. And then we'll probably do some internal playtesting because we have made so many revisions before we advance it along. Next up is Project Perseus. This is another game that I'm meeting twice a week on with John and Strash. We've been revising the cities to make sure all the factions have a doomsday plan that is really punchy. We have been revising the core text to make sure all the developments that have sort of been in our minds but haven't gotten onto paper are written down. We've walked through. We've expanded the Perseus Directorate, the various branches, the various other agencies. There's been so much world building in Perseus. If you're not familiar with it, it's 1980s spies versus the supernatural. Perseus is a agency created by the UN when they realized that there were, in fact, supernatural threats in the world. And these are spies who are equipped, mostly equipped, usually equipped, hopefully equipped to deal with those threats. It is so much fun. The mechanics of the game are a mesh of Forge in the Dark mechanics and PBTA mechanics, where you have a dice pool that you're building in a similar way to Forge, but you're getting outcomes in a similar result to the move mechanics of Powered by the Apocalypse games. The moves are really, really sing and just deliver this great spy fiction. So I wish I could tell you more of a date on this, but I'm just very excited to see this continue to move along, and we'll keep moving through the keep moving through the draft. So thank you all for hanging out with me as we have reviewed the August 2025 State of the Hat. I'm really excited for all the projects that are underway, and I've got one more we'll probably be talking about next month, one more to announce. So I'm really happy to keep being able to share all the fun stuff that's going on with the hat and tell you about new projects as they come out. All right. If you are ever curious about the state of any individual project, you can go to evilhat.com/project-status. And I do a weekly update there with all of our project status and all our games. So you can see how everything's moving along at all times. All right. Until next month, keep on gaming.